君のことば繰り返し寝ても覚めてもやまないそっけない君の笑顔が恋しくて星に願うのまた会えるよね
Hello, everybody, and welcome to a Zenith League stream. We have currently gone into the draft, where we will be showing you a game between Good Chi and the Penguins, the Serbi Pink Penguins. Serbi Pink Penguins. Sorry about that. I would like to introduce you. We will helping me tonight on the stream will be Omega, and
Hello?
as soon as we can, we will be looking at the draft. Whereas our two bans so far have been Bard and Jinx. The Jinx being aimed at the Tiefling Penguin, and the Bard being aimed at the Telbic. Whereas on the other side we have Ash, Yunara, and Elise. Elise being aimed at Baby Yoda.
Yeah, they're target banning a lot, especially from blue side. I mean, as it's often the case.
Okay.
What will they first take?
Well, depends on what they value, but they decide to go for an Ari blind. Ari always a safe pick. Provides a lot of different build paths, so it's safe into many matchups and can provide many roles within a team. So this is a fairly good B1 pick. The question is, what will the Serbi Pink Penguins answer with?
Also, I think Ari is a really good takeaway, as bot mid laners play her a lot, and it's kind of a jolly pick. So it's a good that they picked her so early in the draft, I think.
I'd agree with that. Pick away to most pick mid laner on the other side. It's in a safe blind as well. Very good for a B1. And the answer is the Orianna coming out for Dal, which then means that we know our mid lane matchup. And I would be guessing that you want something to safely deliver the Orianna ball. And
Jarvan.
Yeah. And in comes Jarvan, one of the preferred combinations. So I do see that going very well. Serbi Pink Penguins is already setting up for a strong team fight. Whereas here we've looks like Baby Yoda is going to get his preferred jungler, the one that he has the most mastery on, being the Lee Sin. He will be picking that up, and to pair that up, that looks like they will be opting for a Corki for under
Hillermanden. Difficult name.
Yeah, difficult name. I might end up abbreviating it to UHM to make it easy.
I hope he doesn't. He won't be offended by that.
I hope so too. Forgive me, but long names is going to be a rough one. And it looks like Serbi Pink Penguins is going to answer. This is the interesting part for me, is whenever you're on red side, you've got multiple options, being you can make your R3 pick a value pick or an answer pick. A value pick by picking a different lane and then protect banning it, or to make sure you get the proper matchup, or you just match the picks so far. So I'm curious to see where they're going to go. It looks like the Serbi Penguins want to pinch the support pool, and Gucci are going to pinch the top lane pool with the first Fiora pick. And now the question is what will the next one be? Because the Serbi Pink Penguins top laner Himmel does like Fiora, Irelia, and Riven. So I'm very curious to see which of the bans will come through.
I think now Serbi will want to look for a separate pick with the Nami and the Nautilus now lock the band. Probably will try to go for the Rakan. I think it might fit well with the comp, with the Orianna Jarvan being a secondary ball delivery system, and obviously the good comp in the bot lane. I'm kind of more weird that I think it's more weird the Xayah pick, because it's kind of it's a different idea of gameplay than the other two. The other two wanting to go in a lot. Xayah is the biggest disengaged ADC probably in the game. So yeah,
I'm surprised they let the Rakan through. I would have expected them to get rid of that. Now we'll see if the Serbi Penguins want to pick it up or not. But that would have been if you see one of the lovers duo, you generally want to break them up. So I'm somewhat surprised that they've let that one go through. And the Serbi Penguins have discussed that they do want it and will be bringing it out. So that now means that there are 2 good ball delivery systems.
Yeah, I think though there is a really strong poppy that is still open for Kastrup, and he might go for that. Like, I think he has good answers. Also, the Alistar is available. I'm not really. I wouldn't be really scared if I was in Sorby Pink Penguins of our can pick here.
Oh, okay.
Here comes the puppy.
As you predicted, I think the puppy was kind of clear, but the interesting one is that they decide to blind to Cassante top. And considering what Himmel plays, I do see him. The Kale is also a direct denial for Mark from the other side. He tends to like that, so that's why they're currently considering. And the Kale matchup into Cassante it's rough P6, but it gets better after. However, they do pivot away and go for the Camille matchup, which is a that one is a bit harder, but I am assuming that Himmel wanted a bit more familiarity and chose to go for the Camille nonetheless.
Yeah, I like Camille a little bit more because it's more coherent with the idea of the comp in the pick in the really good picks that the Cyber Pink Penguins have with this draft. You have the Jarvan, the Camille. You can isolate people and just pick the pick and then go to the next objective or the next fight or everything. Like you can get yourself a really big advantage.
I gotta say that I do like what the Penguins have done here with their team comp, because they've got multiple ways to bring that ball in, right? And this is gonna test their teamwork here, because if they're smart, they're gonna make sure that they don't use all their skills all at the same time. That way, the Puppy Steadfast Presence will be able to block one engage, but then the next one's gonna come in and inevitably will end up getting onto the key targets on the other side, on the other team. So I gotta say, I really like it. You've got Rakan, you've got Camille, you've got Jarvan. All 3 of those could deliver that ball to where it needs to be. Jarvan and Camille are very good at locking up targets into a certain dome. So I really like what they've done. It's pretty smart. Other than that, my main concern there is how well will they pull this off, because it does require a lot of communication and making sure that everybody's on the same wavelength when it comes to fighting. But I do really like their team fight comp. On the other side, I feel that Gucci has created an interesting team comp all around. I like the Corki very, very much into this fight. And the question then becomes is what are we going to, how will they decide to fight? Because scaling wise, I'm unsure. I think I'd say Survey Penguins have a slightly better scaling comp, but the Gucci has so much pick tools that they are literally just going to be looking for a pick. Anybody that isn't in position is going to end up being in a rather rough, will be in for a rough time, and the Poppy is certainly going to be key to denying a boatload of engages. So I'm very, very curious to see how they're going to pull this off.
I think Gucci have a lot of means of disrupt with the Poppy, with the Xant as well, or even the Lissy with the kick. I think they have good defensive tools. Probably though not the best draft to have those defensive tools in, as the opposing team has realistically a better skinning, as you were saying. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting match between those 2 comps.
My concern here, my only concern with Gucci is if that Xayah starts getting fed and they protect her properly, how are they going to go and get her? How are they going to go and make sure that the Xayah gets picked off? That's my only concern that I have with their team comp, because they don't really have a person barring a ward hop flash kick, Lee Sin sacrificing himself to get Xayah out of position, I don't really see it right now, but we'll see how the game plays out. The interesting question, and one that I always love to ask to my fellow caster, if you were on either of those teams, which team would you prefer to be on and why?
Oh, okay, that's an interesting question. I think for how I look at the game, I prefer to play. I think I would prefer to be on Chi side, on good Chi side, because I think the disengage tools are really good, and that they can actually win the lane even in almost any case with the Karki pop in the bot lane. So I don't think Xayah will be a really big problem. And if they manage to play mid from mid to bot, they can have a really strong trio or 3-3s, 4v4s. Every skirmishes around the bot should be won because they should be able to play slow against the Xayah and not just to waste their resources on their ult. So yeah, generally I would prefer to be on Gucci's side, but at the same time, both sides look very intimidating. And which side would you prefer to be on?
I'd prefer to be on the Serbi Pink Penguin side. The fact that they've got a very clear identity, what they want to do. They want to bring somebody in, get the ball in there, blow up as many targets as possible, and then have Xayah deal and then kind of protect the president afterwards, with Xayah dealing the damage afterwards. It's a fairly straightforward team fight, so I'd personally prefer that team comp, as well as it's fairly easy because they can just play straightforward, and they basically all know what they're doing. The only question is who is going to be the guy who gets stopped by the puppy. You wait out the steadfast presence, and then you just all in, because once that is gone, yeah, Lee Sin can potentially provide a peel back with a kickback, but the thing is you don't have enough tools to keep them from getting on to where they want to go. That at some point they will get there if you are in range. So for me, I prefer the Serbi Pink Penguins. The only thing that it boils down to is having proper communication around with the team, making sure that everybody's on the same page. So that's why personally I would have preferred maybe the Malphite over the Cassante. Because for me, if Gucci had gone with the Malphite, granted it's blind Malphite and blind Malphite can be abused, it's still very clear, a very clear way of engaging, starting off your team comp fights. So
yeah, I would just be scared of picking a Malphite into Xayah because of her capacity to just cancel your engage with her ult. I'm not really a fan of hard engaging into the Xayah. But yeah, I can see your point actually.
but the question now the question now is who starts the engage for the good cheese.
Yeah, that's the issue, no? Because I think a good Chi aren't really in a position to start an engage.
So
yeah, they would probably just have to be the how to say so, like be the big down and being the team that has to get a little bit ahead in the early game, and so to get that prior mid that is so much needed, and then managing to win through that advantage that they created in the early game, having to not be not having the necessity to start the fights after the early stages of the game, and having to do that only when like only as a response, fighting only as a response to PP's engage, and yeah, but obviously this requires being in a really strong early game.
It's going to be curious to see how things progressing. For now, it looks like we have a little lobby issue that we're trying to get sorted. So in the meanwhile, we will kindly still wait a bit longer prior to starting this. It's one of those fun experiences where you unfortunately do not have a one account or a couple of accounts have not updated their client properly, and we'll know and love this Riot client, where unfortunately it does not give you the pop-up. So I'm very curious to see how we get this sorted, but in the meanwhile, we will have to wait a wee bit longer. So, but yeah, as mentioned earlier, I think the team comps are fairly straightforward, and I am very much looking forward to seeing how these two teams will face off against each other. I'm also very curious to see if Good Chi will live up to the other team that I have cast from them. I had the pleasure of casting the Good Chimps in the mini LCS, and they had this horrible, annoying habit of seeming to be going out, but no matter what pest control you used, no matter what the other team threw at them, they always decided to come back. So I lovingly nicknamed them the Cockroaches, and with the Cockroach King being Patarina. I've seen that he's a sub here for their other team. So I'm very much looking forward to see if Good Chi will have the same habit of never dying and just unwilling to hand over a series, or if this will, or if they'll outright body maybe an opponent for a change. Because so far I have yet to see a Good Chi team absolutely body an opponent.
Let's for sure hope to have two really fighting teams that are not willing to give up. And honestly, from what we saw in the past games, I don't think we should expect teams that will give up easily. Just for a little bit of information about the current status of the league. Currently, Good Chi only played one series, and they won it 2-0. And Serbi Pink Penguins are won 1-0 and lost 1-0. So we are still at the early side of the league. Serbi Pink Penguins just lost against PXL Esports, that are the current group leader in the Deep 1. While they managed to beat Ceuta Guardians Academy, that already played in the last season in the league. While Good Chi won against Cyclone Gaming, who were the last season champions of the Zenith League. Since when we had the only one division, not two divisions. So I think this matchup is gonna be really interesting. Between the teams.
Then the last question I still have that we can talk about: which are the two players you're looking forward to most from both teams, and why?
Oh, that's interesting. I think from the side of Serbi Pink Penguins, I think I'm really interested in how Himmel will play with that Camille. Because I think it's the biggest matchup that you need to win to secure you the an easier game. Because you have the counter pick, and you should be able to find room to get ahead and to undermine Xanta's abilities to disrupt fights. While from the other side, I think it's either the Diary or the Poppy. So Enemicos or Caster Speaks, because I think those are the two most important champions that you have to be able to play the game the way you want. What I was saying before about the beat down and all of that part. Yeah. What about you? What do you think are the most focal points?
Well, for me, I'm going to go with a mid laner who is now cosplaying as a jungler, because normally, if I've got this correctly, Baby Yoda is normally playing mid, but he has moved over to the jungle position. So I'm very curious to see how he's going to path and the different decisions that he makes, because jungling is kind of like chess, where you have a boatload of openings, and depending on which one you choose, you will get a different outcome in the game. So I'm very curious to see how he will be able to influence the game. And on the side of the Serbi Pink Penguins, I'm very much looking forward to Dal, because Dal is on the Oriana, and I have seen Orianas be absolutely godlike, and I've seen them kind of being ultimate merchants, whereas they go for the one ultimate, and after that they're kind of like done. They don't do anything anymore. So I'm very curious to see which one of the two Dal will be able to pull out, and also if he will be able to catch multiple people in his ults or not, because that's going to be a very, very key factor for the Serbi Pink Penguins. So those are the two people.
Sorry.
Yeah, so those are the two people I'm most looking forward to see how they will pan out in this game. Other than that, I have noticed that there has been it seems that the lobby issues have somewhat been solved, so we should be expecting to be going into a game in a fair amount of time from now on, and not too distant time anymore.
The lobby issues I can confirm had been fixed, so we should be live with the game in about 1 minute. But so we will be able to see if what we just said will find it to be matching in the actual game. Actually, about what you said now about the Orianna being a really important point of the game, I think I agree with that. Also, though I think Dal really knows well the RA matchup, as he is a really big RA player. So I think he should be able to navigate the lane and this game really well. And here we are on the Rift finally for the first game between Good Chi and Serbi Pink Penguins.
Always interesting, but most probably it's a standard 5-point defense that you will see covering jungle entrances. Because this is the one thing I'm missing this season. Creative level ones.
Yeah, it's way harder with the quest system and everything. It's you can't do the four people stacking bot lane at level 1 to try to catch the enemy ADC. So
I'm somewhat disappointed about that. I wish it's one of the parts that I kind of miss in regards to last season.
It was fun. It was a little bit more auditory, but at the same time gave more creativity to the teams, and that is often a positive aspect. Everything seems standard from now on. From this point, the jungler started the top side, so we're pathing towards that bottom that we already told us really important in this game.
That being said, one thing that I have noticed is Himmel did go for an early flash. Took a very good trade because he's down his summoner, from what we can see. So
at the same time, I can see the 2 HP bars being really equal.
Yeah. So I'm somewhat surprised that he didn't, if he went for his flash, that he didn't add his ignite on top of it. But that being said, very clearly Himmel already going for an aggressive trade and having stacked up the wave.
Still going for trades.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if he's going to go for the cheetah recall, stack up his third wave. Meanwhile, we have a fight here in the bot lane where we have Poppy clearly going aggressive and being able to pin the Tiefling Penguin against the wall, which means that half the health bar has already been traded. Tiefling Penguin is going to have to be careful with their position, because it's going to be a very important one.
At the same time, good Chi are now pushed, while we know that bot junglers are in this side of the map. From what I'm seeing, I think Lee Sin is being a little bit actually slower. Actually, they are the same pace. I was saying that Lee Sin was being faster, but then I saw Jarvan coming at the Grump earlier than Lee Sin coming at Krug.
Oh, and as we are talking about the jungler, guess what happens in the top lane? Himmel decides to go for an all-in, but Mark stands his ground, does not budge an inch, and despite not having the combat summoner, he does end up getting a kill. Meanwhile, we see a collapse going down onto the Jarvan, but unfortunately, he misses his the Lee Sin misses his resonating strike, and now the question is what will happen here, but they should always be ending up killing, and this just means that this is going to be 3 kills over to Good Chi. They are off to the start to the races. The first 2v2 ends up in the favor of Baby Yoda.
One buff as well.
And we don't get any reprieve here, but very good fight. And the question here, can they get anything back? We do see that UHM has to flash out. He is very, very low. And Tiefling Penguin and Teblik, Tenelblik, were very good at changing this around. Now, Kastrup is looking for a kill here. One more attack and he should be gone. There we go. That's him gone, and that means that they will be pushing out Poppy. No, not pushing out Poppy, pushing out Corki. Poppy opting for the quick base, and that means that they get 1 kill back.
Yeah, I think that was really reckless by Kastrup. With the big waves coming their way, it would have crashed under their turret at a certain point. So, I think it was really not needed, but it was a really good fight from.
And I like this very much. Knowing that Himmel has no flash whatsoever, calling Baby Yoda up for a lane gank, and as soon as Mark went in, there was no other option here. Ooh boy. Jarvan, I'm not sure you want to be there. Think about this. He's going to get found out, and they are just going to probably get him. Yep. Steadfast presence blocks everything, and Baby Yoda comes in for some more chip damage onto Dal, which now means that, well, the Ahri is the first to level 6, and I gotta say, Baby Yoda, for a mid laner cosplaying as a jungler, he is making some excellent decisions. I also tracked his early jungle pathing, which was also very, very interesting and very healthy as well.
Yeah, also not sacrificing many camps respect to what Hammy or Dad is doing. So, yeah, that's really good from them. And invade being tried, but yeah, this will probably end up with nothing more than a grump at most. And it's still another good win from Baby Yoda. I think it's worth to specify that in this game, bot junglers are actually substitutes. Like, in one case, it's a mid laner that is playing jungle with Baby Yoda, and the other is I Am Your Dad that is currently playing the jungle this game. Oh, but wait.
Oh, what excellent kick flash. Excellent insect.
My God, he's alive.
To get Tiefling Penguin out of there, and not much that Teblik could do there. Rakan couldn't do much, which then means that they end up picking up another kill, and thus Xayah has to lose more blood and XP. As we see here, I Am Your Death has decided to come up, but the question now is, can he do anything? Because I do feel that the Cassante could potentially just outright kill both of them here, as he's going for it, and he is going to go for he's going to double kill them. And this game is getting out of hand real quick.
Okay, so I mean, I expected. Oh, and trying to kill Dal as well. Okay, now. Oh, Kastrup is going anyway. Diving to darts, he doesn't care. Yeah, I mean, I was saying
he's very aggressive now. I gotta say, this is where, as a jungler, you are feeling very, very, very bad if you have to give up this red, because Baby Yoda is instantly invading the opposing jungler, and this is not gonna go over well.
Yeah, but
This
Orianna's
is where you
coming.
see a bit of a game of chicken. Who is gonna get who first here? Oh, but the jungler, the Jarvan, sorry, calls over some help, but unfortunately, Enemicus decides to come over as well, and so you've got both the mid laners ending up in the jungle, which of course then makes it for a very interesting part. That being said, poor Lee Sin, getting absolutely starved of resources. Meanwhile, we got active trading going on. And despite the rest of the map not going in their favor, the Cerulean Pink Penguins bot lane is doing a very good job.
Yeah, they're doing well. And I think, okay, another fight, the Yoda and Enemicus on Dal. And it's another kill for the Lee Sin. Wow.
Baby Yoda has... it's very clear that today Baby Yoda woke up and he chose violence. There was he's bloodthirsty. Of his team 10 kills, he has been involved in 6 so far, and omnipresent on the map.
Yeah. That's very good, especially as you said from mid laner. No? And what I noticed that the kills that she gave are kills because they pulled the rope too much until it snapped. Bot on Lee Sin trying to gather more resources than he should in the jungle, and then Orianna coming, and as well the same thing has happened bot with the very early reckless engage from Gastrop. But they're in total control of the game. If they keep playing like that, it's already a 3.5 gold lead. It's a very big lead. And unexpectedly is the lead mainly in the top lane, with Xant having at least 10 CS more than Camille. And 3 kills.
Yeah, it feels very much that this currently this Camille pick is not completely working out. Because I feel that we
have another fight actually.
Out trading, and this could be another kill here.
Oh, but yeah, this again. He greeted again.
Apparently, that's a thing that Mark does more often than not, from what I'm hearing here.
No, I mean, it's not him directly. It's like it's what the team is doing. It's another time they wanted to gather even more resources than they could, and they ended up giving more than what are getting. So
they overreached
another time.
Just a tad.
Yeah.
A minor overreach, or as we like to say when we're playing League of Legends, we're limit testing.
yeah, it's limit testing clearly,
now,
and that's what you usually do in officials.
The question here is, what Tiefling Penguin must... There we go. Very good job warding that out, making sure that they don't get the bad trade. And then just keep picking up the CS as much as possible. Because right now, the only lane that is going somewhat even is this bot lane. So it's going to be very interesting to see if Baby Yoda will just want to smother out this game and will give the bot lane some more love, or if he's just going to make sure that top and mid snowball a bit more.
Yeah, I think there should be, probably from the side of Gucci, no need to try to fight for more resources. They already are in a really good advantage. I think they should try to find the ways to stabilize the advantage through objectives mainly, and forcing the fights to come at them and the objectives. So they do what their comp is designed to do, and they wait for the engage, and then if they're at objectives before the opponent, the Serping Penguins team shouldn't really be able to go into them.
I mean, at this point, I'm starting to wonder, who is your jungler? Is it Baby Yoda? Is it Castrop? Or is it something else? Because this is the second time Castrop has been top, by the way.
I mean, he likes to roam. Bottom doesn't need him.
Yeah,
Underhill Manden is an independent AD carry.
so no, very, very curious to see what's going on there. Meanwhile, we gotta say a lot is progressing. The first plate is being picked up for the the Serbi Pink Penguins, but they are 3 in the mid lane, and Dal, I'm not sure you want to stay here too long.
Another invade. I'm your dad that doesn't have a jungle anymore. It's a common jungle for him and Baby Yoda. And Baby Yoda always brings friends with him.
Yeah. I'd be curious to see what the gold differences per position would be. Because I gotta feel that there should be a fair... I'm guessing about a KA top, a KD in the jungle, and then 500 in AD carry and mid, but...
Yeah, I think... I also think the jungle gold diff should be really, really big. I'm a little bit concerned for Gucci right now because Baby Yoda is just recalling now is gonna be a little bit late for the Drake, while Serb Pink Penguins had a really big amount of time to do a really good setup in the boss side. Like, look at that word, at those words. Everything is under vision. Oriana is pushing, she can recall now, and that's TP for Drake. It's just, if bot plays well, they're in a really good position to even try to take this second Drake.
I would agree. The only issue is that Himmel has just TP'd to the top lane. And remember, he's got the combat spell, so that means that Mark can come down and has a shorter... his TP has a shorter cooldown as well. So right now I'm concerned about the 4v5 that they might end up facing. That being said, we see more trading going in the top lane, and Himmel decides to drop his ult once again. And this is nearly immediate for Mark. Decides to ult Himmel right after his ultimate, but Himmel, I think you need to run a bit more. Yep, he has to get out of that fight because he right now cannot hold the top laner in his place. Both flashes have been burned. Himmel did burn his ignite once again, so he is completely sunless. And because of that, the Gucci will end up getting the Drake. And not only the Drake, also first Brick.
Hey.
And I'm not sure that this fight is over yet. I'm... Himmel, if something it has to happen here, but...
Holy...
you're
being stunted.
Is just too tanky. Oh, and this is also big here. Corki being interrupted from the Valkyrie. But doing a good job trading back.
Yeah, he's using his range well. With that kiting, actually they won the trade, even if it started well for Server Pink Penguins. And here we have the gold difference. It's 1,700 gold for jungle. But at the same time, they ended up taking the Drake because Serbi delayed it.
Yeah. So it's somewhat... I'm surprised that Corki is 1k up because CS-wise, there's nearly nothing between both of them. So I'm somewhat surprised there that he's nearly a k up. But other than that, I think that the rest speaks for itself. Now the question here is, if you are Pink Serlin Penguins, how do you come back?
That's a really good question. I think their best bet here is to try to focus on the farming side, giving up some objectives for the moment, to try to manage to get the Camille up ahead enough to be able to play some split push. But it's gonna be really, really hard. And yeah, you don't have also the damage to take a really good pick, but at the same time, I think that with the abilities with the champions that they took in draft, picks on the most fragile champions are still good. I mean, Xamp is not really a fragile champion, but that works anyway, if you do it like this. Oh my god.
3 people are holding the Cassante, and he is holding back 3 of them.
Oh, okay.
And in the end, Himmel does end up getting the kill, which is very, very important. That being said,
Yeah, but Sancho took a lot of time.
Yeah,
A lot of time, and now they will just take mid. Oh, and they engage as well, and I'm your dad. Okay.
Okay. That was a slightly weird interaction.
Ult to dodge Gerald, okay. And probably was scared of who would have been near the near the Herald.
Excellent use of the Herald, though.
Yeah, really good use of the Herald. They took 2 towers. They opened up the map, especially in the bot side while top is already down. I think it's a really good use of the objective. And also these will get Cork even more ahead. He has the second item now, and he's starting to get really closer to his big spike of the Manamune completed. And
I'm very concerned for the pink, for our penguins, because I kind of feel like they're not going to get the time.
Oh,
and
unfortunate
you hate to see it. You hate to see it, but Dal's ult is a big airball in that regard, and the jungle. Well, Jarvan decided that he did not want to give up his jungle, which I understand how far behind you are, but at this point, this is not your jungle anymore. And unfortunately, Good Chi are just going to continue going through people, charging onwards. And
luckily for certain penguins, we are not yet at the minute of the spawn of the Baron Nashor, so they can't get it this early. But otherwise, this would have been this is still a really good spot for getting kills. They take T2 mid, and they can push bot and probably push top as well. Yeah, this is not really looking bright for the penguins. And now Baron Nashor spawning now, and same thing for Dragon. They can probably still just go for this Drake while they kite back and invade the whole jungle of Emir Dad that is now top defending on Xante. This is gonna be Drake and probably recall and reposition to try to take Baron as well. From how much they're ahead, they can push the throttle and accelerate towards the end of the game.
Gotta say, I'm very concerned about the lane assignments that the pink penguins are currently opting into.
Yeah, it's a little bit weird, but at the same time, even if you can't really face that Xante with Camille for how much Camille is behind. That's the really big issue of having Himmel. For Himmel for having lost the lane this bad. Like, now he's not really in the game and he needs a lot of gold, but at the same time it will be really hard to gather the gold. So, yeah. It's not a good situation to be in.
Meanwhile, we quietly wait for the next big fight. I am guessing that that's either going to be the Nash or the Baron. Good Chi are trying to set up for it though, for Nash, but right now, Tenelbic is refusing to give up the vision for now. But unfortunately, there's such a thing such as a scuttle crab, and this will allow them to clear a large amount of vision.
And now they're, as I was saying, they're setting up the Baron. They have really good vision. And now the weed spot as well, they're on bot side probably. And this is gonna be really hard to contest from the side of Pink Penguins. If they can find a steal, that might be the miracle they need to come back into this game. But with Castrop there, covering from Ymir Dead and Snellbeak, oh my god, he ulted him away. This will be an easy Baron for Good Chi.
Oh, and a very early Isaiah ult, but this means that they're looking for the quickening from Rakan, but in the end, there will be nothing. Camille finding the Corkiol alone, if she can put that one in the Hextech ultimatum, that would be very interesting. Unfortunately, that isn't happening either. And right now we have Tiefling Penguin, who is playing excellently.
Oh, really good play.
Very close, but does end up going down to the strike. And now the team fight completely erupts, with unfortunately Orianna ultimate not being available. And thus, this is going to end up being a cleanup. 1, 2, 3, 4 go down, and that means that only Himmel is up. But even Himmel took a trade with Corki, and Corki has clearly come out for the better of that.
Oh wow! And Corki's full HPs as well.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Dare I say hunting, right?
And with Xante pushing bot, they will probably be able just to go mid and end this game.
Yeah.
And to find Pix and Camille.
Does look like that. A 13k gold lead will do that to you.
They're just hunting for kills.
With all the torturing that he did, therefore he still wanted to have one good fight. But unfortunately, behind that, his team just gets absolutely shredded to pieces. And they are, at this point, just having some fun, making sure...
Playing with food a little before ending the first game. With the good Chi being 1-0 against Serpentine Penguins in the Danish Derby. And it was a really good showing from Good Chi.
Yeah, very good showing early on, making sure that they got off to a flying start, and they kind of never gave them a chance after that. It was a one-way fight all the way, and unfortunately, I mean, they lost the 2v2 early on when the first scuttle spawned. And after that, Baby Yoda just decided that I am your dead. No longer had a jungle, and that his jungle was also Baby Yoda's jungle, and kept fighting him for each and every resource. And that is textbook play for a jungler, making sure that they just push the boundaries, keep getting an advantage, and go on from there. I am quickly going to check with Omega. Are we going over to break, or shall we quickly still discuss who was the MVP and the ace for that game?
Oh, I mean, at this point, who do you think would your MVP for this game would be?
Well, my MVP for this game, I think it's very clearly there can only be one. Yeah, the kill participation of 75%. It has to be Baby Yoda on the Lee Sin.
Yeah, I think so as well.
Other than that, and as for ace, I kind of want to give it to Tiefling Penguin or the Tenelbic. Tenelbic doing an excellent job keeping all the wards up, and Tiefling Penguin doing a very good job in the bot lane. But unfortunately, the rest of the map got out of control too quickly, too fast to allow him to scale up.
I agree with your picks. I think also we have to notice the really good performance also by Mark from Gucci, but I for sure agree with your ace, and also with your MVP with Baby Yoda having a really good game. And after this, I think we will head towards a pause before the second game of the series, and where one of my colleagues will replace me. So it was a pleasure to having casted this game with you, Mappe.
Oh, the pleasure was all mine. It was fun seeing you. And then for the next game, I will be sure to welcome in my new colleague.
So we will head to a break, and good luck to both teams for the next game.
And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I have now been joined by Bad Boy, who will be replacing Omega for this following game. Currently, Gucci are up 1-0. The Penguins opted to go for the blue side. And as you can see, we are already into the picks and bans for now. No changes in the bans, with Elise and Ash coming out, Jinx and Mel being on the previous ban sheet as well. And the curious one is, will they keep the 80 carry pool small? Because last time there were quite some 80 carry bans. So Penguins are discussing it.
I mean, I really was hoping for an introduction here, but I guess I'll introduce myself.
Sorry. I'm unsure how often you guys cast, so.
I do cast a lot in other leagues and for other orgs as I do get opportunity. Today I am as hopeful and gladful to be a part of Zenith's casting team here today. But we do see a lot of ADC bans, as you say, and with that we are also going to get the 2 first ADC picks as well, which is going to be Yunara and probably Lucian, it does look like.
Interesting. The Yunara pickup, okay.
I mean, Yunara is pretty strong, at least the last few patch notes. So I do understand the Yunara pick. I'm not too sure which side of this sheet that I do have is which team, but
the left side is for the right team. So the left side is
okay.
She. So as you see right now, Lucian is picked up as the AD carry. It's a fairly comfort pick for UHM, whereas the Silas is more than likely going into the hands of Baby Yoda into the jungle. And of course, if you pick Yunara, you do want to have your preferred Enchantress there together with her, and Lulu will provide that safety for her. So it's good. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, it's okay. It's allowed to talk a little bit over each other, as we are first time meeting here today. But I do also have seen a lot of Silas players, as you say, and our jungler is pretty comfortable on this Silas as well. And we are going to get that confirmed with a hover of the Victor. The Talia is probably going to go mid, if I'm going to guess, as I don't see that many Talia jungles anymore.
Ooh. Richie thinking about it, hovering Anivia and Victor, but ending up going for the safe blind pick in mid lane, and that is the Syndra, making sure that they are already locking down that option. And so here it's going to be interesting because Gucci has an opportunity to ban top laners or junglers, although Talia could technically go both. So probably the safe pick is to ban out top laners. And the Penguins will pinch supports, logically speaking.
Yeah, for our people on the left, for Sorry, it's probably the most logical to ban out supports, as you say, and maybe even top laners, as Silence is most likely to go jungle. We do rarely see him in other lanes. And for Good She, we also have, as you say, probably a lot of top bans. Could also go for a few mid bans. They did pick Nafari, which is a pretty good flex for both mid and jungle, because they don't really know where the Talia is going to go. They are going to hover on the Good She, swapping over to Jace. I do like to see a little bit more of tankiness in the top lane, as they are lacking a little bit of engage, and they're going to fill that role with the Sahen. They are also gonna see over at the Sorby's side. They are also a little bit lacking on the tank side. So a good pick here. Okay, Pantheon is gonna work quite well. So that means Talia is probably gonna go into the mid lane, as Pantheon is a better jungler than mid lane in the latest patches. So I would like to see something like, I almost said Malphite, but Gucci do have that Silas, which is pretty annoying for them as well. So I would like to see something like Mundo maybe getting picked up here by Sorby.
Doesn't Zahen have percent HP damage? I don't think Mundo is a good pick in that regard. That being said, Aatrox is a very interesting one and does a fairly decent into the Zahen. We're going to see two Darkins facing off against each other in the top lane. And then we'll see what else is going to happen across the board. I'm somewhat surprised that they decided to opt for the Zahen early on. Wow. Okay. I have no clue where that fiddle is going. Because it's one of two options, but it's going to be spicy either way.
I am pretty sure I know where that fiddle is going. I am willing to bet 5 subs on it. That fiddle is going support.
Okay. Well, it would be the logic option, but I gotta say that I'm somewhat surprised that they decided to opt for a fiddlesticks in this particular case.
I do agree with that. The Fiddlesticks is a pretty weird pick for them at this time in the comp, but it is a pretty, or I'm pretty sure it's gonna go into the bot lane at least.
Okay, right. One thing I always like doing, and I always like asking this to my co-caster, is once all the picks and bans have done, we know both teams. If you were to choose, which of the teams would be your preference and why? So if you were to choose on which team you would have to play, why?
Ooh, okay, so that's something. If I choose to play or I think to win, because that's two different questions right there.
Let's say which team you think has the easiest way to win. We'll go there.
The easiest way to win. That is a question, alright. I did like Gucci's comp pretty well up till the fiddle. The fiddle is throwing me off quite hard over on that side. But Sorby do have a pretty solid comp. I do think I'm gonna lean a little bit more towards them. Mainly because that Pantheon is such a good jungler. In this current meta right now, they do have the Aatrox for that so-called tankiness. I'm not sure about Zahen having the percent health damage. That I don't have the knowledge about, sadly. But overall, I do think that Sorby is gonna take this by the comp standards. They do also have a pretty strong ADC, so I feel like whoever wins their bot lane is gonna try to throw this game into a snowball, but we will wait and see about that.
Well, I didn't even get to say which team I'd personally opt for, because it looks like we're already, we will be loading in shortly. That being said, if I had to choose between both teams, personally I'd prefer the Penguins comp. It has everything that you want. The engage is a bit tricky though, but technically you can split a team fight up in two by using the Talia ult, and then you can just try and focus one side, whereas the rest has to try and get over the wall. So I would personally prefer the Penguins option. The Good Chi option requires a lot more communication to pull off, and I am very curious how they're going to manage the fights. Because the other thing I've just realized is, other than maybe the Talia ult to separate the team fights, there aren't really good ults for Baby Yoda to steal on the Penguin side.
That is true. The maybe 3 best ults for the Silas 2 steal is probably the Pantheon and the Lulu ult.
Yeah, the Lulu ult. The Lulu ult, maybe I'm underestimating that one because Silas can get into the team fight and then decide to self-ult himself with the Lulu ult. Could be very useful as well. But other than that, everything looks fairly straightforward. And to add to your knowledge, the Zahen, his E has maximum % damage on the slash, which starts at 4 and ends at 6. So that's why he generally does fairly well into tanks. Because if they just stack health, he can just cut through it. Because that cooldown goes down a fair amount as well.
Yeah, there you go. The more knowledge, the better.
So it's going to be very, very curious to see how everything will pan out. I am very much looking forward to the top lane matchup because the two Darkins facing each other directly. I'm curious if our producer will be able to pick up their voice lines every now and then, but they have very fun voice lines in between both of those. So it's kind of sad that we don't have an extra Darkin left anymore, that they decide to ban the Neferi. It would have been fun to see Neferi, maybe Varus, but unfortunately those two got banned. So we'll have to do with these two Darkin facing off against each other. Meanwhile, as you see, we have loaded in. So
yeah, we have started the game right now. Of course, we do have the spectator delay that we did manage to talk through apparently. But I do love myself a break, but I do love myself a game even more.
but we see the classic start, I'd say.
And as we do see, the Fiddlestick is going support, as I did believe. So it was a more obvious place to put the Fiddle, but as we did discuss earlier, it's a little bit a weird pick into this comp as well.
A lot of laughing going on in that bot lane.
Yeah, we do have some laughing in the bot lane. But I am pretty interested to see how this bot lane is gonna pay out. As I said earlier, I do think like whoever wins this bot lane is gonna pull the game out. As we see, both junglers are gonna be patting towards bot side.
Yeah, I'm very much curious to see if Himmel will be able to put up a bit more of a fight. That being said, we see an early flash being burnt on the Lucian after a slight overstep and miscalculation regarding who would get first to level 2. That was a big, a little mistake on that behalf. So the Good Chi side will have to play ever so slightly. But that being said, we do get a fight in the mid lane, and obviously the flash for Dell has to be burned.
Yeah, nice flash there by Dal, unfortunately gank by Baby Yoda. But Wolf tried to the Silas though. A little bit behind in the clear, but it's nothing major. As the Penguins team is pushed in bot lane as well.
Uh-oh. Mark, have you overstepped here? Oh. He's gone a bit far. But the big difference also between this game and last game is Himmel has now opted for a TP, not a combat summoner, so both top laners are playing with a TP and a flash. Whereas in the last game we did have the combat summoner. And Himmel taking a bad trade here. And very good work from the Penguins here, knowing that the flash on UHM was down and decided to call over their jungler to make sure that he ended up paying for that mistake. That being said, dear Penton, you ended up taking that fight last time around. Please do not do this again. So now the question is, who will they give the kill over? And Baby Yoda is going to end up taking that kill. I'm a tad disappointed seeing that over-aggression a second game in a row. Because in the first game, it also happened, unfortunately.
Yeah, the only sad part about this that I can see is that Baby Yoda did manage to get the kill, but the Leonard is up kill as well into lane.
No, it's excellent news for Pink Penguins getting their AD carry up, but oh boy. Oh boy. And last time this 2v2 fight did not go their way. The question is, can they get anything going out here? But Baby Yoda is just, quite frankly, outplaying I Am Your Dead at the moment. And Dell is trying to get something back, but has run out of mana. Does end up going down. And now the question is, what's going to happen here? Because both mid laners are out of mana. And with him coming over, Syndra does have to flash. So if we take a quick recap, mid laners have lost all their sums during that fight. The jungler has also, Baby Yoda has lost the fight. And meanwhile, we do get UHM having a fight and barely surviving in the bot lane.
Yeah, we do have a nice little fighter in top lane as well.
I have noticed that Mark is often dashing into Himmel. Oh, Himmel deciding to flash here, but we get a fight, and meanwhile we've got the other team diving in the bot lane. And now the question is, can the Lulu get the return kill? Yes, the Lulu will end up getting the double kill, but that still means that there's a big wave that's being lost. Meanwhile, Mark on the other side ended up going down, and so we are having a very bloody early game with nearly with a kill and a half per minute. So a lot of back and forth going forward, but we're seeing the important part is the kill didn't go onto Himmel, unfortunately. So Mark does save himself a tad there. But Dal is going to have to be careful because the Castrop loves rotating and roaming. Meanwhile, we do get a fight, and it's going to be everybody's coming to fight in this in the jungle. However, Baby Yoda is going back to the same tactic he used last game: get a miniature lead and then make sure that he instantly is invading the other side. Meanwhile, UHM's flash has come back up, and very good culling onto the Pantheon, meaning that this Pantheon likely will... Ooh, no, Pantheon just does end up getting out of there, and this time Mark has decided to use his slash, his rush to the side. Unfortunately, we do see another fight in the bot lane, and this time it is Yunara who is out of position, and Baby Yoda ends up coming in and collecting the 300 extra gold.
Meanwhile, it is so much fighting, I barely get any time to speak. This is amazing to watch, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I'm sure you're enjoying it. So...
But
right,
we do
now
have
that we have a little bit of
roughly...
downtime,
Yeah.
which lane is ahead, and how do the teams use that to get their advantage?
Well, of course, we do have Baby Yoda in the jungle. He's pretty far ahead already. He's gonna use that lead to push his Lucian even farther into lead. Maybe even help out Merc here, as we love to see. But always, when we see, he's a little bit low on health compared to the Aatrox. But as we are also at a roughly 1k goal lead at 8 minutes over to Gucci as well.
We see that.
So this
Al could be in trouble here. Enemicus has got the ultimate, but in comes charging the Lulu, and I Am Your Dead decides to bring the ult over to the top, and Castrop has to run for the hills.
Yeah, there you have that beautiful Pantheon ult as well. Nice little roam, easy to engage, easy kills to pick off as well. It's one of the most abilities that make him so utilized.
Oh, and we do see a Fiddlesticks ult with a flash, making sure that Dal cannot move at all, and that means that Dal does go down in the mid lane. And unfortunately, I Am Your Dead just started up the grubs, but this is very, very bad news, because they are just going to push off the top laner, and I feel that an ult is going to come in, and there we go. They end up collecting the jungler, and they will end up securing, I believe that to be 2 grubs. Yep, it's going to be 2 grubs over to the... not
over
the penguins.
to Gucci.
Gucci, thank you.
But there you see the power of the Lulu ult onto this Silas, as I talked about earlier. Managing to stay on top of these people and ulting himself, not only getting more HP, but also knocking them up is quite strong. But Gucci is... Well, you first.
Yeah, we do see this fight in the top lane, and this time Mark does end up holding his dash, because generally he dashes into that convergence zone from the Aatrox. This time he ends up holding it, but Himmel is taking better and better trades this game. It's a marked improvement from last game, which I'm very happy to see. Unfortunately, I Am Your Dead is still somewhat suffering. Oh boy. We see Mark using the R8 rush and trying to chase down the Himmel in the Aatrox. He ended up having to flash, but made sure that he got away. And here we do see a good attempt, but unfortunately you have the Crow Storm from the Fiddlesticks creating enough zones so that everybody can get out once again. It's a shame though, because that was a very good flank from Dal.
Yeah, it was a really good flank. Sadly didn't pay out as planned, but they are gonna get a Drake here. First Drake of the game over to Gucci.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that all the objectives currently are going Gucci's way.
It seems like currently all the objectives are going their way, except for that one grump that I Am Your Dead did get. Apparently this Talia is playing tag with the Syndra.
Yeah, but for now, we do see the game has somewhat stalled out. A gold lead of about 1.5k in favor of the Gucci. But I have to say, Gastrap is roaming everywhere today.
Yeah, it is nice to see. As a Fiddlestick, you are supposed to be roaming a lot, but we do have Pantheon here trying to look for a gank here though. Sadly didn't pay out as planned. But as Fiddlesticks, it's pretty nice to be around roaming, leaving as well into a 1v1 bot lane.
Oh boy. Tablik, this should be interesting. He uses his own ult to disengage onto the Silas. Meanwhile, we do have another fight in the top lane, and Himmel is continuously taking very good trades. Last game he had a rough time, but this game he's really trying to turn it around, and it's rather impressive so far. So I'm curious to see how that will pan out once they both get their first items. They should be coming in soon. Meanwhile, we do see that Teflin Pingu, who was the saving grace last round, is having a bit of a hard time. Now, the ult has been used, and you're here all three. So you have to make sure that something happens before the Silas comes in. But fortunately, they somewhat missed their opportunity, and now the question is going to be, will this Silas dive the turret, yes or no, or will they just content themselves with taking a turret? And I think we get to see our answer there. Baby Yoda is not in the business of waiting for a whole lot of things. He ends up using the ultimate, and an excellent turnaround, and they go 1-for-1 with Baby Yoda getting the kill, but the shutdown goes over, and now the question becomes, what will UHM do? Can he turn this around? No, he cannot, and that means there's a triple kill over to the Yanara, and the one person who absolutely was in dire need of gold ends up getting a boatload, including a shutdown.
Yeah, it was well played by the Yanara. Needed those kills really, really bad. I'm gonna give it to Baby Yoda for the gank. It was really good until that the Pantheon went in there. I really believe that will go a little bit better, but as this Silas went down as well, it was no return as Fiddlesticks and Lucian was pretty low HP.
Oh, and we do see here there's an attempt to get the Zion. The Zion uses his grim deliverance to get out of there, and meanwhile we've got Kastrup coming up, deciding to say hi to dissuade any further dive, and in the end a lot of ults are burned but no kills are shown. Meanwhile, we do have 18 kills for a 15-minute game. I'd still call this a very bloody affair. Meanwhile, first Rick goes over to UHM in the bot lane, and that means that we are going to see a lot more fights real soon, because the lanes are going to get... Oh boy, and here comes the Pantheon ult. Now the question is, can they blow up this Fiddlesticks, or is Baby Yoda going to come in and clean up? For now, we see another good fight, and it does look like the Pantheon ends up going down. And remember, Baby Yoda has that Pant ult, and I would not be surprised if he continues to look for something here. But Dal makes sure to clean everything up, and meanwhile, considering that we have the blinking health bars, the fight ends.
Yeah, I did not expect Silas to go for anything deeper there. Getting a little fast reset and maybe using the ult to get up to Rift is maybe the play here for this Pantheon. I mean, for the Silas. But they are better than me. I am just a low plat player, so who knows? It seems like Drake actually spawned as well as we are talking, so of course gonna go for that Drake instead. Gucci is a lot heavy on these objectives, having a lot of objective prio as well, which is really, really nice to see.
Oh, and meanwhile, we do get another fight in the top lane, and Himmel is making sure that he wants to take it to Mark, and ends up getting that ult coming in, but his passive has completely been stacked. Meanwhile, of course, we have Baby Yoda, who also decides to come in on the other side, and that means that this Pantheon is caught between a rock and a hard place. And meanwhile, we've got Himmel, who now has to run to the base, and will be counting the seconds to make sure that he can eventually suicide, or is he going to No, he's going to TP out. He's going to end up TPing back towards his top lane and using that shield that he gets from his TP. Meanwhile, we see more fights going on in the mid lane, with Lulu having to ult herself. And of course, that does mean that that won't be available for Right. Meanwhile, we see an exchange of ults in the top lane with Baby Yoda attempting to dive, but I'm not sure you want this, Baby Yoda. Ooh. Good stuff from Mark, making sure to tank a turret shot, and that means that both of them end up getting out. And unfortunately, I Am Your Dead is too late to the party.
Yeah, Gucci is doing pretty well right now. Not only in the fights, not only in the objectives, but they are doing good all across the map. As we do see, they are leading in farm in every single lane. I think Gucci is having an amazing time so far. They are also up a 3k goal lead right here, leading in turrets as well, as they are looking for a fight.
And we see another fight here, and this time we do see the ult coming in, but unfortunately it's a little bit too late, and I hate to say it, but right now there are more members here, and we end up seeing nearly everybody collapsing with the Syndra trying to hightail it over here. We see the ult Grim Deliverance coming out, and right now Kastrup and UHM are in a poor spot, and that means that this Rift Herald should go over. However, Syndra is thinking about it and might fight here, but we do get the secure from the Yonara, and this should dissuade anything, and we should be getting a reset. I gotta say, a very good fight from the Penguins. Looks like they are still looking for Dal to get some extra damage on there, but
Gucci are not done looking for a fight right here. They are gonna pick up the Talia, it looks like.
Oh, but very good stuff from the Talia, making sure that they pick up UHM. And then the question now becomes, what will happen afterwards? Because right now, they've used more or less everything, and it feels like that Fiddlesticks should be going down, but for now, it's just not happening. And in the end, they get the Syndra, they get the shutdown from the Syndra onto the Aatrox, and I could see a second kill coming over here. Oh, Kastrup is just in time to walk out of that, but he is being very, very risky. Meanwhile, Baby Yoda has shown up, and that just spells very bad news for the rest of the team that's here, because I got a feeling that Baby Yoda is going to want to dive here. And right now, too many people are here, and unfortunately, oh boys, you're all going in one by one, and that means that Good Chi is just going to end up picking up one person after the other. 2 kills so far, and it could be more. Fighting is not yet done, but now Tiefling Penguin has come up here, and he is going to want to get in there. We've got the Pantheon making sure that there's enough vision, and unfortunately UHM has decided to come around, and the Yonara is going to use the Rift Herald to get to safety, and that means that Dal is in a very, very poor position. The question is, who will the kill go over to? And they are making sure it's still going on. But in the end, Baby Yoda picks it up, tagging himself for a scoreline of 10-3-3, and really priming himself to do a lot of work during this game.
Silas is doing pretty good work. This Syndra tried to believe that this Talia was going down maybe 2-3 times. Sadly, did manage to survive with all of Talia's shields and bits. So Silas had to use his belt to take it. A little bit funny that managing to take it down with his protobelt, but anything can happen in these games. We do see they're trying to set up for Drake here, though, seeing both teams coming in. We do see Lucian going topside here, which is an interesting pick by them. Would probably like to have maybe Sahen or, probably Sahen with the teleport go over.
Yeah, meanwhile, we do see the Himmel going up for a fight, but the Zahen with the Grim Deliverance has decided that enough is enough. It's time to take some fights. Meanwhile, we do have the Aatrox. The ult has run out, meanwhile, and that means that the Zahen is just going to walk it down. In the meanwhile, we've got Baby Yoda and under Himmel Malden combining up for a fight, and that just means that they're doing a decent amount of work, and that means that 3 people go down: your top laner, your jungler, and your mid laner. And right now, you got to be careful where you're going to end up, because that's going to be an ultimate coming in from the Fiddlesticks. But so far, very good job from the Tiefling Penguin to stay away from that ultimate, and making sure that that fear cannot tag her, so that they can't just all collapse on her. That being said, Baby Yoda once again is just cleaning up that jungle, making sure that I Am Your Dead can find no gold whatsoever. And it is slightly regrettable, because that Yunara was really positioned a couple of times to do some excellent work. But and Yunara does end up picking 1 kill. But the question is, you need more out of these. You need to get more ahead, so that you can actually make a comeback. Because right now, you need to funnel that gold into Yunara.
Yeah, you really need to tunnel some more gold into this Yunara, and you really want this shutdown on this Silas and Fiddlesticks as well.
I'm not sure this is what you want here, because right now you're caught between a rock and a hard place. You have to blow up a couple of people. There we go. They get UHM first. He's down for the count, and now the question is, can they corner off Baby Yoda? Because if they can get Baby Yoda, then that Baron can be on the table. But Baby Yoda does have the Aatrox ult, and he is just buying time for his team right about now. Meanwhile, we got the Zahen was able to get out, and that means that the others will be able to respawn, and he is just going to take them on a loop-de-loop around the map.
Yeah, it's almost like she could have taken Baron. What a run by Baby Yoda, doing some miracles on the map right now.
He is he has decided that enough is enough. No matter what my team will do, I will try and put them on my back. I hope that Good have a good physio for him after this game, because it does feel that he is doing a boatload of carrying. Meanwhile, Kastrup unfortunately somewhat whiffs his ult, but now is in a pretty sticky position, and we do get Baby Yoda coming around to help out his support. Meanwhile, we get the culling in the mid lane, and more fights are going down. They end up taking the turret, but that should be it for now.
I don't think they're done.
No, it doesn't look like they're done. They're trying to get some chip damage onto Baby Yoda, but Baby Yoda is just healing everything up. It's getting to a point where you'd hope that one of the teams would get maybe some, or one of the players would get some anti-heal for that Silas, although I'm not sure that will solve the issue, that he is healing ridiculous amounts in team fights.
Yeah, Talia is the only one on their team who has anti-heal right now. It's a little bit disappointing to see, but depending on that they have both Silas and Zahen that heals from their kit, and Lucian might also build something like Bork or something along those lines later in the game as well.
Pings are coming out for the Nash, so they're making sure that they get... Gucci have been very systematic with their objective approach. Make sure you starve them from vision, so that they don't know what's going on, and then see if we can force a fight. That being said...
Gucci are gonna accept the trade a turret for Nashu, which I do think they are gonna be pretty happy with, because they are this far ahead. But it might also look like it's gonna be 2 turrets depending on how far Aatrox is in taking that turret.
And Baby Yoda ends up getting the Lulu ult once again. And right now they are looking for another fight. And so far, the Penguins are not retreating as a group. They are going to get out, but they literally gave the inside road, the inside track for the mid lane. And that means that the Gucci will end up just taking an inhibitor. And the fight afterwards with Zahen immediately going in and you've got Talia with the ultimate, but she gets stunned up, unfortunately, and will be ending up going down because she is in between 5 people. And now the question is, what can Yunara do? What can this Yunara do? Can she do enough damage? Because right now, here comes the deliverance, and here comes the ult from the crow dance from Kastrup. And that just means that they are completely obliterated, and one big fight ends up making sure that they end up taking the game, and not just the game, also the series. And it looks like they aren't done yet. They wanted another kill, and Baby Yoda ends up with a 11-4 and 8 scoreline.
All played by Gucci right here. Had an amazing game. It was a little bit lopsided, as I almost believed that the bot lane is gonna be the carry. I was a little bit wrong. I do feel like this Silas carried their team quite good, even though that the Fiddlestick that I doubted did so fucking good as well. Sorry for swearing. But they did so good as well on Fiddlesticks that I am actually impressed by them as well.
Yes, a very good set. It was a quick series, but still an entertaining series nonetheless. There was a good fight. A good fight was put up, and we do have to say that in the end, the Gucci looked a class too strong for the Penguins. But the Penguins did show some promising signs. A marked improvement in the top lane, a very good a couple of very good plays as well, but overall, it felt like they were at times reaching just a bit too far, and unfortunately, that ends up paying cash when you have a Silas who absolutely snowballs that hard, that fast. That's never good news. So, I'm going to ask to my to Burp Boy, for this game, who would be your MVP and who would be your ace?
Ooh. If I could put both on same team, I don't know if that is allowed, but my MVP is gonna be the Silas. And if I can have them both on the same team, I want this Fiddlesticks to be the ace.
The ace is basically the best player on the losing team. So, so basically, what you mean is what you want to do is you want to give the MVP to Baby Yoda, but an honorable mention for Castro.
Yeah.
So, which I have to agree. And if we look at over both games, Kastrup has been acting as nearly a second jungler at times, making sure that he roamed up to the top lane on his Poppy a couple of times. So here we do see that. So that was good to see. You see the team compositions from game one, where we had in the top lane the Cassante, followed by Baby Yoda on the Lee Sin with the 75% KP and MVP for the first game. Then we had Ari in the mid lane with UHM piloting the Corki, and Kastrup getting honorable mentions also for that game on his Poppy. On the other side, we had Camille in the top lane. I Am Your Dead piloting the Jarvan, Oriana in the mid lane, and then the lovers duo in the bot lane. Sorry. And that game ended in favor of Gucci as well. For me, game two, I would agree with the MVP vote and the ace vote. This game would very well clearly go to the Yunara to Tiefling Penguin, if I'm saying this correctly. They had a very good game here, and I think that if that Silas didn't get all those kills, there would have been a very good chance for them to come back. Unfortunately, he just got out of control too quickly, too fast, and they weren't able to use the Yunara to their full advantage, or weren't able to protect the president.
I do agree. I did kind of avoid the question with the double vote on one team. But if I'm gonna give a true ace, I'm going in between this Aatrox and this Yunara. The Aatrox did really, really good in laning phase, but I do have to agree that the ace have to go to the Yunara. Was probably the carry potential for the whole team. Did pretty good in lane and mid game, but as you said, sadly they couldn't protect the precedent enough for the series or for the game.
Okay, and with that, I would like to thank my fellow casters for the first game, Amigo, and of course for game 2, Burp Boy, for the pleasure of having being able to do a first cast with him here on Zenith League. And with that, I'm going to thank all the viewers. I hope you had a good time, and see you on the next one. Bye-bye.